So back in 2018, someone watched a YouTube video from someone called Nuke's Top 5. This channel shows videos of ghost caught on camera. I was already not a huge fan of Ghost already, so seeing that video traumatized me for life, and up until now, I still have a huge fear of Ghost. One day in 2021, I found an anime called Mieruko-Chan and I decided to check it out because I had no idea that it was a horror anime. So I watched the first episode and it was too scary for me to handle, so I stopped watching afterwards. 1 year later, after I watched Happy Sugar Life, I saw a video talking about the anime, so I decided to see the guy talk about it because nostalgia. When the video started talking about episode 2, it was then I realized, holy shit, I need to continue watching this anime. So I continued to watch it, and after episode 2, the anime became an emotional roller coaster. This anime made me care for the ghost, it made me care for things I hated. That was something really rare for me to experience. It's pretty shocking to see how my channel now is surrounded by horror-themed videos. So usually when I review something from the past, it means that that piece of media spoke to me in some way. Like my Happy Sugar Life review. Happy Sugar Life was an anime that spoke to me, and I wanted more people to know about it. Same thing goes to Mieruko-Chan, something about it just spoke to me for some reason, even though it's not as spectacular as other animes like Happy Sugar Life for example. So I'm here to review Mieruko-Chan and find out what makes this anime so special to me, and why the anime community loves it so much. Here is a tale that comes to life, a review of Mieruko-Chan. Ooh. Did I scare you, viewee? Huh, that's unfortunate, you're usually more vulnerable. Anyway, hello everyone, happy October. I just came back from watching an amazing anime, Mieruko-Chan. Okay, so, to tell you the truth, this anime is my 22nd favorite anime out of the 60 animes I watch. So I kinda find it really strange that I have so much to talk about this anime despite the fact that it's not even in my top 20 favorite animes. And strangely enough, this is the anime I want a season 2 the most out of any other animes. Not even Gakugarashi or Happy Sugar Life makes me want a season 2 this badly, even though both animes ended on an even more intense cliffhanger. But IDK, maybe that'll change in the future. Maybe Spy X Family Season 2 won't be good, or Jashin-chan Dropkick will suck in Season 3, or maybe a Season 2 of Gakugarashi will come out and crap on everyone's faces, or Love Live School Idol Project will get a Season 3 that goes against everything that was established in the first 2 seasons, and remove Nozomi Toja from the anime, and those animes will have to downgrade to a lower place. Only time will tell. Let's all knock on wood and hope these things will never happen. Anyway, back to the video. So come along with me, friends, as we go on a journey of the heart to find out what makes Mieruko-Chan such a beautiful horror anime. And also this video contains spoilers for Mieruko-Chan. This anime is best watched blind, so go watch the anime first before watching this video or skip to this time frame. I 100% recommend this anime, so skip here to avoid spoilers. I'll start by talking about the negative and neutral things I feel about this anime. What? Someone had to say it. And also, this is all just my opinion, it's absolutely alright to have different thoughts on something. Anyway, my biggest problem with the anime is that some of the episodes can be a bit boring and not funny. The best example of this is episode 1, which I feel is the weakest episode in the entire series. Episode 1 has no plot, but episode 1 has a lot of plot, which keep that thing far away from me, you disgusting piece of and it has so much lewd in episode 1, that someone on YouTube made a 1-minute long compilation of Miko bots. Let me remind you that this is only episode 1 and yet, there's still 60 seconds worth of bots on screen, that's a whole new level of messed up crap. Some of you might be asking why I watched the entire video and how I found it, which to that I say, that's a good question. Anyway, that brings me to another problem I have with the anime, there is so much fan service. Unless it's wholesome fan service can be really hard to master. Mieruko-Chan is unfortunately in the group of animes that suck at lewd fan service. Sometimes, when I'm actually giving a damn to whatever is going on in Mieruko-Chan, the anime suddenly shoves an ass into my face, and I lose interest. It's honestly really frustrating, especially since I was already super invested to whatever that was going on, but then, I have to deal with this big, fat ass, whose main purpose is to satisfy weebs. Why I object to this horny humor. Anyway, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but I don't like the ghost in this anime. At the start, it is creepy and the designs of these ghosts are stunning and horrifying at the same time. But over time, the ghosts become less scary and become more repetitive. Almost every time whenever a ghost is on screen, all Miko literally has to do is to hold still and not react to anything the ghost is doing and she is safe. It starts to get cliché, after some time, and slows the pacing of the anime. I understand that the ghosts are meant to be the main source of horror for this anime, but I feel that it's not actually that scary, which is really shocking considering how much I'm scared of ghosts. Maybe it's because I've watched too much Happy Sugar Life, but only psychological thrillers scare me now and nothing else does, which is sad. And do you know what's even worse than Miko continuously encountering a ghost? When someone who can't even see ghost encounters a ghost. In episode 6, Hana encounters a huge ghost and she can't see it and it's not doing anything harmful to her. So is there really a threat here? Is there really something to be concerned about? It's alright whenever Miko is with Hana because this means that Miko has to come out with strategic ways to prevent Hana from making contact with the ghost and there's tension. Meanwhile, if Hana can't see the ghost, then there's no tension in that scene because it's as if there is no ghost in the first place. Speaking of which, this isn't a huge problem, just a small nitpick, but what kind of threat does the ghost in Mieruko-Chan really serve? Other than in episode 10 where the ghost can drain Hana's energy, it is already established that the ghost can phase through humans, so is there really something to be worried about here to begin with? IDK, it's probably just a me problem, but the ghosts are kinda lame, even though they do serve a purpose in the plot. I wanted to ask, does Hana's energy attract ghosts or kill them? The anime doesn't really address that well. The word attract and kill do not go well with each other, and should not mean the same thing. And also, this anime claims to be a comedy. It's definitely funnier than Happy Sugar Life. I mean, I did chuckle at more than 2 jokes in the anime. But according to some reviewers on the internet, apparently the main source of comedy are from the lewd scenes. What's so funny about an ass shoved into my face, huh? Is objectifying funny to you? Oops, I forgot to laugh. Hi. Okay, that's literally almost all my problems with the anime. How about we get to the good part, shall we? The animation for Mieruko-Chan is pretty good. I really like the character designs, they're all so unique and creative, except for Hana's design which no. It takes a brainless person to know that the ghost designs are just fantastic. Each ghost in this anime can be its own artwork. And also, the camera shots in this anime are also great. And I'll wrap up me complimenting the animation by saying this controversial statement. This shot alone is better than anything in Demon Slayer's animation. Any arguments, Mr. Slayer?
Just give me a second.
What's wrong, demon? Looks like you're starting to lose your sleigh. Yeah, speaking of the details in the animation, I love it every time an anime marks another brand, and Mieruko-Chan has a crap ton of those. It has so much that it's literally one of the main things that's actually funny about the anime. Secondly, I'd like to demonstrate to you how spectacular this anime's soundtrack is. I know that I have complimented soundtracks many times before, but the thing is, Mieruko-Chan's OST is in my playlist of videos, better than Free Krima. So if an anime soundtrack is in my playlist, then that means that it's more than just good tunes. The only other anime OST in this playlist is Love Lives, and the videos in that playlist have to be of a specific quality, so getting in there is an achievement. Most of the soundtrack are all bangers, but my favorite one being and also, the OP of Mieruko-Chan is really good and has a good vibe to it. But it's not as good as or the AD of Mieruko-Chan is good as well. But it's also not as good as or. Lastly, I would like to mention how likable the characters from Mieruko-Chan are. Yurika is my second favorite character in the anime. I like her mysterious and cute design and her edginess and stupidity. However, Yurika is more of dumb in a funny way, unlike some people. Okay, but all seriousness, though, Hana isn't a bad character, even though I nitpick her a lot. Sure, she can be a bit obnoxious at some moments, but her carefree attitude is something that is important to the plot of the anime, and reminds Miko to be positive to the world, so Hana's a good character. Zen is pretty cool, but I kinda wished we were shown more of his antagonistic side. I was really hoping he would be a villain and abuse the class, but he didn't, which is a shame since I enjoy watching abusive teachers. They're all so lovable to hate. Also, Miko's brother, who surprisingly has a name, is such a wholesome and funny character, and I'm glad he is more of a lovable kid than an edgy kid, but we'll get back to him later. There are these two background characters that I strangely like for some reason. Dead moms in animes are such an overused trope, so seeing a dead dad for once is a really refreshing take. Right, random, shock furry. And there's the godmother. It's the godmother, what else is there to say? Anyway, to summarize all of this, Mieruko-Chan characters are such a fun bunch, but I feel that they all wouldn't work as well as they did if they didn't have an amazing and heartwarming story that ties in everything together beautifully. This is where the real spoilers begins. This is my last warning. Skip to this time frame immediately if you haven't watched Mieruko-Chan. Okay, it's time to address one of the main reasons the anime community likes this anime. Hana's large but well-written plot twists and emotional moments of this anime. Note, if I were to actually ever say that anything about Hana's body was the best part of the anime, I want you to shoot me. Anyway, back to topic. I feel that there's this one underrated scene in Mieruko-Chan where Miko helps bathe her brother. Sure, that scene is ecchi at its finest, I do not deny that. But I feel that there was a deep meaning into why the writers placed it in there. It makes the scene feel so natural in a way. Instead of having that lame pervert trope, Miko actually asks her brother to make her feel less alone. Even her brother also doesn't feel alone at the same time. It really does give off a sense of a natural sibling relationship and a sense of a normal, loving family, which is a good change to the non-average family tropes seen in Disney movies. Oops! You know, some animes just can't get that done right. Any arguments, Mr. Slayer?
Just give me a second.
What's wrong, demon? Looks like you're starting to lose your sleigh. Yeah, there are a lot more other emotional and wholesome moments in the series, but they all come with plot twists. Now everybody loves Mieruko-Chan plot twists. Honestly, all of the plot twists in this anime range from above average to brilliant, unless it's one of those mediocre plot twists about a ghost being there in the background all along. So I decided to task myself to rank every single Mieruko-Chan plot twists from worst to best, since they're all fine to watch, and also rank those mediocre plot twists as well, since I have nothing better to do and y'all love to see me suffer. Kinda take this as my first unofficial ranking video out of all the other countless ranking videos I've been planning for years to do. I mean, unless you consider that one Showmasters episode to be a ranking video. That just means that you're the sickest fan of my channel, but I still love you nonetheless. Well, let's begin my first ranking video. Number 14. And the worst plot twist in Mieruko-Chan goes to... Seriously, you already knew the prayer beads were going to break. It's literally only episode 3 and there's no way the ghost problem can be easily solved in less than half of the anime. The plot twist is not only predictable, but also pretty annoying. It kinda shows how the godmother is actually a scammer who doesn't give a crap about the character, which isn't funny, to be honest. The beads keep on breaking and my brain won't stop telling me how much material is wasted through that. Like, what the hell? And it's also annoying to see Miko not being able to defend herself against the ghost. Lastly, what kind of progress does this contribute to the story? The beads never come back in the story, and is brushed off as if it was nothing, and I kinda forgot about it until I had to make this video. Is it because that plot twist allowed the godmother to retire from her fortune-telling job? Because newsflash, it's never implied that that scene made her quit her job. The only thing I can compliment about this plot twist is that it demonstrates the culture of prayer beads really well, but like the other episodes, also have other culture demonstrations done better. So yeah, this plot twist is predictable, annoying and useless to the plot. Number 13. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, the plot twist that Yuria can't see Big Ghost is kinda dumb. Of course, this makes for some good conflict and suspense for Miko, but what else does it really provide? This plot twist is kinda like the prayer beads plot twist, as both are annoying. This causes Yuria to have some misunderstandings with Miko, and let's be honest, no one likes misunderstandings in media. This is probably my only problem with Yuria, and the only thing keeping her away from being my favorite character in the show. The only reason why this is even better than the prayer beads plot twist is because, at least this plot twist is integral to the plot and appears in more than one episode. But overall, yeah, this plot twist is just as predictable and annoying as the prayer beads plot twist. Number 12. So I'm done talking about the bad plot twists, and now, it's time to talk about the mediocre and fine plot twists, starting with that one ghost in the fake, haunted house that actually isn't an actor and is instead an actual ghost. This isn't really a plot twist to the audience, but more of a plot twist to Miko, but it counts, so don't ask. This plot twist doesn't do anything outstanding or do anything annoying. My biggest problem is that it is really forgettable and kinda ruins Miko's joy in the haunted house. I feel the reason why this plot twist isn't bad is because it helps progress the plot and allows Miko to express her feelings towards the ghost, which is a really powerful message that I'll get back to later. Basically, the haunted house plot twist is a twist that exists. Number 11. Now this plot twist is really important to the plot. Heck, it is in fact the plot of the entire anime. It is none other than the first plot twist that Miko can see Ghost. Now you might be asking why such an important plot twist would be cast aside at such a low rank. The answer is, there's nothing more to it. The plot twist wasn't executed well enough and wasn't really shocking to me, even if I didn't expect it. I guess one thing cool about the plot twist is that it explained the handprint on the mirror. That was pretty cool, I guess. I don't know, man, this plot twist is just one I don't have much thoughts on, so I'm calling this plot twist another twist that exists. Number 10. Oh yes, we finally reached top 10. The plot twist from here on ranged from decent to amazing. And it all starts with those students on the bus who are actually ghosts. Now, you might be asking yourself how this plot twist got this high on the list. This plot twist legitimately caught me off guard, and I wasn't expecting it. It did nothing outstanding and nothing suspenseful to build up the plot twist, and I feel that's what made it work. It's because the anime didn't touch on it too much until the execution, and that's how you write a decent plot twist. Overall, it's an unimportant plot twist that just so happened to trick me and catch me off guard. And also that joke where Miko looks at the other passenger in horror is just hysterical. 10 out of 10 humor. Number 9. So this plot twist was one that the series didn't really build on, and I kinda was and wasn't expecting it. It is the plot twist of the shrine spirit's existence. What made it slightly unexpected is the fact that I didn't know if the Miko praying for Hana's spirit to go away would work, since it's been established that the prayer beads didn't work, so we didn't know if this one would have worked. But to my surprise it did. Even though it's a forgettable and a more predictable twist than the students on the bus twist, it's at least an important part of the plot, and that's why it's a higher place. Overall, it's a forgettable twist, but one that works pretty well and one that carries plot. And also, thrice is such an ominous line. Javaria 2.0 decoder and I were going so insane, trying to understand what it meant. Number 8. Now this one's actually pretty good. It's the twist of Miko having a nightmare. And as you can expect, I thought everything was all real and didn't think it was a dream. What makes this twist kinda work is the fact that it seems unrealistic in a realistic way. We already know how harsh the reality in that world is by how the different ghosts treat Miko, so why can't the shrine guards also be mad at Miko? It makes for some really good conflict for season 2 and allows Miko to be more independent towards the ghost. And it all makes sense that it's a dream because we know that Miko has concerns about the shrine spirits being enraged. But other than that, it's a pretty useless and forgettable plot twist, even though it does work pretty well. Overall, it's just a good setup to explain how the shrine spirits are evil, but honestly nothing fantastic. Number 7. The balloon boy is my favorite forgettable twist in Mieruko-Chan. Yeah, it's honestly surprising how this twist that only lasts for a few seconds manages to catch me off guard. This twist works because we were never shown that ghosts could shape-shift into humans, but we also know that that's possible by how the ghosts have shape-shifted several times. It's one twist where you genuinely think to yourself, how did I not see that coming? It's a pretty cool twist that explains the pain and anxiety Miko feels about seeing ghosts. Overall, despite being forgettable, it does leave a good taste in your mouth. Number 6. This twist is the main twist of the entire anime, and is the twist that has been building up since the start. It's a twist that the fandom really likes, but it's one that just doesn't work for me, and honestly, I really want to enjoy this twist. But gosh darn it, why can't Zen actually be evil? IDK man, this guy just had so much potential to be badass, considering his sinister and yet gentle design which perfectly portrayed a wolf in sheep's clothing. But other than that, yeah, this twist isn't horrible, it's pretty good in fact, and that's why it's so high on the list. The anime takes the time to slowly establish this character and slowly reveal that he truly actually isn't evil, and Miko has been misinterpreting him all this time. It's just that this twist doesn't quite work for me despite being a satisfying, major twist that changes the entire story. Overall, not my favorite, but I totally understand why many consider this the best twist of the entire anime. Number 5. Now we have finally reached the top 5 plot twists. These are twists that are extremely well written and set up, and twists that represent the anime to me. And the twist to start off these masterpieces is the twist that Zen is Miko's replacement teacher. What makes this twist work so well is that it uses a character from another well-written twist and shoves him in without warning. The scene doesn't immediately show his face and allows us to fill in the blanks for who we think the new teacher is, which builds up more suspense. And let me be honest, the end result delivers more than what was expected. I was legitimately shocked when I saw Zen. Seriously, I just can't get enough of how well Zen was incorporated into this story after episode 2. It's honestly a real treat, and one of my favorite twists of all time. Number 4. Now this twist, this was the one that caught my attention and made me continue watching Mieruko-Chan. It's the twist of the abandoned cat. What's really special about this scene is that it tells the audience not to judge a book by its cover, which is a plot point that is shown later in the anime. It also shows the benefits to Miko's abilities, which is also another plot point that is shown later in the anime. And also, that post-credit scene where the guy is at home playing with the cat is so wholesome, OMG. But yeah, there's little actually wrong with this twist, it just works for me. My only problem with it is that since Zen isn't actually evil, the dramatic tension in this scene just kinda feels wasted now. But other than that, I'm glad this was the twist that got me interested in Mieruko-Chan. It's just so emotional and shocking. And I also wanted to point out that in episode 2, there's this giant ghost that gobbles up other ghosts. There's a mini twist where Miko accidentally goes into that line of ghost instead. I feel that this is a very clever and cool twist despite being a pretty small one. Number 3. The plot twist about the teacher's miscarriage is so tragic and so wholesome at the same time. Seriously, no words can describe the amount of emotions this scene alone brings to one person. It gives off such an uneasy feeling at the start, but it slowly gets more and more sweet the more the scene unravels and the twist is revealed. To think this much emotions in one scene blends in all so nicely is such a masterpiece. I honestly can't get enough of this scene. It's movie magic at its finest and such an amazing way to establish a character and get attached to them by only one scene. Number 2. This is Mieruko-Chan's magnum opus, the most important plot twist in the entire anime to me personally. Finding out Miko's dad died was, and is still, an emotional roller coaster. Everything builds up really well until the execution, and the execution is a twist that shocked me and is one that I'll remember for years to come. Miko's expression in this scene as she puts the pudding down is something that feels so real and more than just something simple. It's a twist that gives me two contrasting important emotions, happiness and sadness, at the same time. Overall, this plot twist is the first thing I think of when I hear Mieruko-Chan plot twist. It's the best description of how clever and emotional these twists can get. And also, the post-credit scene is pretty funny, and is a good mini plot twist. I thought really hard if I should have placed this at the number 1 spot, but there was one more plot twist that I liked a little better. Number 1. This plot twist won the first place, because not only was it an emotional roller coaster, but it also had a deep and meaningful message to it. The scene starts off with Miko thinking she sees a ghost when in reality, it's just an old lady. Miko then helps the old lady carry her back home, which by itself is already a wholesome scene, and this first part alone would have probably got this scene into top 10 best plot twist, but it gets better. When Miko is waiting outside the house, there's this actual ghost that keeps chanting the numbers 4631. Miko then geniusly shows those 4 numbers to the old lady, and suddenly, the old lady remembers everything. Plot twist, the number is apparently a password to a lock, and that password made her remember her daughter, her personality, her past. And afterwards, the ghost thanks Miko for showing the old lady the password, and Miko walks away with a smile. This scene tells us that there's still hope in everything. There's still hope in Miko's ghost-seeing abilities, as she can hear things others can't. There's still hope in elderly people who lost their memory, as they might just remember everything one day. There's still hope in the ghost, as there's one who doesn't attack Miko. There's still hope in everything, and it's never too late to go back. Seeing everyone so delighted in this scene just puts a smile onto my face. This is truly, without a doubt, my favorite Mieruko-Chan plot twist. And there's a post-credit scene where the ghost that says 4631 is also eaten up by that giant ghost. I'm sure there's a really deep meaning into that, but I can't figure it out. Anyway, it's really insane to think that these many plot twists work well in just one season of an anime alone. It really goes to show how much thought and effort the writers placed in when writing Mieruko-Chan. I mean, it's not like Happy Sugar Life or Gakugurashai have tons of plot twists that actually work. Actually, you know what? Take Gakugurashai back. Nothing can beat Gakugurashai. But they all wouldn't have worked as well if there wasn't one character, my favorite character in fact, that carries the entire anime. And that character is none other than Miko Yotsuya. Now imagine one day, you're outside in the middle of the day, just minding your own business and having a fine day, and without any warning, you just start seeing ghosts for no reason. What would you do in that situation? Would you film it and send it to the number 15 guy? Would you call someone for help, specifically the police? Or would you write a review on it? Actually, that doesn't sound like a bad idea. Well, if I were in that situation, I would, without any hesitation, scream and run away like a generic coward. But this anime does it in a really unique way I didn't really think of. Meet Miko Yotsuya. If she were in that situation, she would just ignore the ghost and think that it isn't there. Miko Yotsuya is the protagonist of Mieruko-Chan, and my favorite protagonist behind Jashin-chan and Canon Shibuya. What makes Miko such an amazing character is the fact that she's able to have character development despite already being a good character. Now, take it from me, making a polite character have character development was one of the hardest things to think about when making the Alupier movie. Then I just settled to not giving him any character development because I realized he didn't need it. But that's not the main concern here. The main thing is that average citizen protagonists are characters that have less character development. Take the stupid Demon Slayer for example. How does that checker jacket boy have any character development? Is it because he can break a rock now? Is that character development to you people? To be all honest, he legitimately does the opposite of character development. He downgrades as a character. Why, you might ask? It's because he doesn't use his previous abilities to his advantage anymore when fighting the demons, specifically his ability to smell things far away. Any arguments, Mr. Slayer?
Just give me a second.
What's wrong, demon? Looks like you're starting to lose your slay. Yeah, does that emotionless protagonist from Classroom of the Elite have character development? No. Anyway, enough talking about bad animes, let's get back to the good ones. I'll get to the character development later, but for now, I just wanna talk about why Miko is such a likable character. Miko is a character with tons of determination. I love characters with determination because they encourage me to do my best in everything, like this video for example. All jokes aside, most of these characters with determination suffer from one major problem. They're too determined. Like what Toby Fox once said, too much determination is not a good thing. IDK if he actually said that. I only remember hearing it once when I watched a YouTube video. Maybe it's the Mandela effect again. Anyway, some of these characters have too much determination, and they go out of their way to accomplish what they want to, and they kinda don't care about the people around them. And that's not even mentioning how these determined characters have too much screen time. Especially you, Canon Shibuya. However, Miko Yotsuya has the right amount of determination. She's determined to stop seeing ghosts and trying her best to stop it, but she also understands other people's limits, and knows when to stop and to just give up. And the best part is, she has the right amount of screen time. Now, you might be asking me if the reason why I like Miko so much is because she's good waifu material. And to that I say, if she were truly good waifu material, she would be part of my expressions. Now, is she better than Asahi Kobe? Hell no. Yasi, Asahi has such a tragic backstory with a tragic end. I mean, all Miko has is an inconvenient ability. And also, look at Asahi, he's kinda hot. Does Miko look hot? Just because you shove an ass in my face doesn't automatically make you hot, you know. Take down notes, writers, this is really important writing knowledge. Anyway, since we got the likable part out of the way, let's get back to analyzing the character development. Miko has one of the best character growth I've ever seen. Watching Mieruko-Chan and seeing Miko grow is such a wonderful journey. One of my favorite parts of Miko's character growth is how she learns to stand up against the ghosts. It all starts with this one scene in episode 8 where Miko questions why she can see ghosts, and also questions whether it's best for her to continue ignoring or to talk to them, before finally deciding on just ignoring them. This is a perfect setup and a good foreshadowing for the next episode. In episode 9, Miko and her friends go to a fake haunted house. It's then Miko realizes that she can let out her feelings and scream when she is scared instead of always keeping her fear inside. I clearly remember watching this scene and remember feeling really happy for Miko. It was such a wholesome and emotional scene until someone ruined it. Anyway, after the group of friends get chased by the ghost, Miko finally stands up to the ghost and tells the ghost, straight in the face, to stop following her. The ghost listens and stops dead in his tracks. Did you see what I did there? To me, this scene gets overlooked by many people. It has such a powerful message hidden under it. This scene tells us that it is alright to keep our feelings inside, but at the same time, letting out your feelings may be better in some situations. Ignoring the situation is fine sometimes, but it's alright to let out all emotions whenever you want to. I'm glad that this anime acknowledges the fact that ignoring is the good option sometimes instead of telling us that letting our emotions out all the time is the right way to go, because it isn't. Sometimes, you just need to shut up and listen, you know. And I'm glad this anime gets that. And also, this is a running message. In the anime, it also appears in episode 11 where Miko stands up to Zen's mum. And it's such an epic climax for an epic anime. I'm glad this message is kinda the main message of the entire anime. Every time Miko stands up and shows her frustrations towards the ghost, it's just character development done perfectly. And I'm glad that this anime made Miko still ignore the ghost at the end of the anime. It's one of the most realistic things I've seen in an anime. See, writers, this is how you write female empowerment. Speaking of the ending, that one scene during the second last episode where Miko finally realizes that Hana cares for her is so wholesome and touching. It tells Miko that she should look at the world from a brighter perspective. This is one of the reasons why I feel that Hana isn't a bad character. Even though she literally only exists for fan service, she also exists as a way for Miko to look at things in a positive way. I love stories that tell us to look at things more positively. It's always a wholesome message. Speaking of the message, this leads me to the main reason why I like Miko Yotsuya as a character. There's a really deep and meaningful message she represents. Miko represents how change affects us. She represents how we all do not like change. Most people, and even other living things, do not like negative changes. Hell, some people don't even like neutral changes. Why do you think I'm against this? In this anime, Miko goes through one of the toughest and most inconvenient changes I've ever seen, and that's the sudden ability to see ghosts. Like most of us, Miko isn't able to deal with this new problem easily. She takes the first step by just ignoring them. Then she slowly starts to open up to the ghost. And then she slowly starts to realize that maybe her new abilities were more of a gift than a curse. It's really emotional to see Miko slowly start to adapt to the changes and learn from them. I really do not know if the writers purposely made this message of adapting to change, but it's just an amazing message. In life, we'll definitely face changes. Sometimes, these changes will impact our lives in a negative way and will be a huge inconvenience to us. But, if we give it some time, we'll learn and grow from these changes and become better. Changes will happen, but we'll eventually get past it, and after we do, it'll be the greatest accomplishment we'll ever receive. So, what do you think, Buey? Got a little emotional towards the end, eh? Hoy, shut up. I feel the reason why I want a season 2 of Mieruko-Chan so bad is because I want to see more of its story. Many of the things in Mieruko-Chan were left on a cliffhanger and I would love to see them be resolved. I want to see what happens to this guy, I want to see more of these two, I want to see more of Yuria, the godmother, Miko's brother, and of course, I want to see more of Miko. Hell, I'm pretty sure that the manga has Yuria's mother, so I'd like to see how she actually is in season 2. So to everyone watching, please give this anime the respect and support it deserves. It's definitely not flawless. I literally spent a good whole 5 minutes talking about the things I disliked about the anime. But the good stuff of this anime is really some of the good stuff you'll ever see in any anime. With a fun plot, well-written plot twists, likable characters, catchy soundtrack, Mieruko-Chan is an anime I'm sure most people will enjoy. I'm giving it an 8.5 out of 10 and I would definitely recommend it to horror anime fans. It's good. You know it's good. It's Mieruko-Chan. If you want something spooky to watch for Halloween, I suggest giving it a watch. Give it some time. The episodes only get better as it progresses. In summary, I'm glad that I went back to check it out. I'm glad I got a meaningful message out of it, and I'm pretty sure you will too. And all of that combined makes Mieruko-Chan the most beautiful horror story I've ever seen. Thank you for watching and good night Gensakyo. Okay, so, the Nikki video won't be coming out this year, because while I was making this video, I got COVID and had to take a break from working. The Nikki review won't be coming out so soon, and I'll instead be working on the 2 Who Retold the movie. So thanks for your kind attention, and happy Halloween.